Hello, it's Zoran from HTML Burger here. I will now show you how Cyro works and how it can automate part of your process. So basically what Cyro does is it transliterates your Cyrillic handles from Cyrillic to Latin characters, so you don't have very large and ugly URLs in your social media for your SEO and so on. So you will see the setup guide here with a couple of different steps. Let's see what we have there. So the first option is transliterate with the bulk editor. What we have here is when we open the bulk editor, currently we don't see anything because I haven't done the scan. Uh, I have a lot of products and and collections and pages with Cyrillic handles. So once I run the scan, I will actually see all of these. I can choose if I want to see product collections, pages, and articles, or just some of them. I can also have specific filters. Let's say I want to see only products that are with status active, for example, and so on and so on. And I can also choose the model. Currently, my store is loaded with different Cyrillic handles. I have some Bulgarian ones and others, but for the demo, we will stick to Bulgarian one, and we will then run the scan. So this will take a couple of seconds, probably a minute, depending on how big your store is and how many items you have. And here is what we see. So basically, we see all of the items, or we can see only products or collections, and I don't think I have pages. Yep. And I can go back to all, and I will see again all of my items. So let's say that we want to transliterate these two. So it's collections, but yeah, let's transliterate them. I can pick only them, or I can pick everything. So basically, I'm able to transliterate a large number of items. Let's say a couple of thousand items. Let's initiate that. We'll see a pop-up to choose what we should do in terms of redirects. Do you want redirects to be created or not? For example, if these collections were running for, let's say, a couple of months, they are already indexed by Google, then it would be good to have the URL redirects turned on. But if you're doing that for a, let's say, newly migrated collections and products and stuff like that, you don't need to create the redirects. You can just override the handles. Okay, these here are super important. So if you are about to do large transliterations in your store, please make sure that you check these and make sure that you're completely fine with them. For example, there will be fluctuation in the SEO ranking for a couple of weeks. If you have any functionalities that are based on the handles of the products collections or something like this, in the past we used to use that as an approach. So if you have something that like this, make sure that the theme is updated and you are ready to do that. Okay, so once we are sure that we want to proceed, I will just hit that button and it will take a couple of seconds. So I don't see these collections here anymore, but if I go to the history, I will see these two collections were transliterated. So if I copy the link from here and I go to collections and I find витамини и хранителни добавки. Oops. Yep. Here is the updated handle. So the URL is already in Latin and with Latin characters. And if I go to menus, URL redirects, I will see that there are redirects created for these URLs. So these won't be lost in Google in the indexing, and they will continue working. Okay. In the history tab, I can also roll back these items. For example, I've just rolled back this one. So if I open the collection again, it will be reverted back to the Cyrillic handles. Okay, so if I go to the home page again, we are done with this one. So we now have the auto transliteration, which is the important, the more important, I think, functionality. What it does, it allows you to automatically transliterate handles for these resources on creation or update, or yeah, basically these are the two triggers. But you don't have to think about that anymore. So once you enable that, and if you go and create a new product, it will just be transliterated to Latin characters. For example, if uh, I will let it enabled for all of the resources. I'll have the same filters again. I can pick some filters if that's needed. I can also pick the triggered events, for example, if it should be triggered on create only or on update as well. But we don't need that here. So we'll stick to the basic setup. I will just check. Yep, it's the Bulgarian Cyrillic. So I can see the mapping here. At this stage, these are not configurable, but in the in the future we plan to add that as functionality. Okay, and we can now turn this on, and it will start working. So now, if I go to the products and I create a new, let's say Nova Черна Teniska. Let's apply some price here, and if I save that, it will be firstly created as a Cyrillic handle, but after a couple of seconds or probably a page refresh, it will be updated, yep, to Nova Черна Teniska with Latin characters. So this one is working, and this is the basic functionality and the main idea of the whole thing. So yeah, we can see some stats here that I have already transliterated 3 items. Okay, and here we still see some history. This is the local history for the auto translation. So basically, if you have left that for running for a couple of months, and you can see the last 50 items here, but you can also go to the history for the complete story, for the complete history of the updates, and here you will see the source. For example, this last update was from the auto scan, uh, which is the auto transliteration. Okay, and I can roll back this if that's needed. Auto translations, and yeah, if you are running on a different Cyrillic version, you can just change the model here. In the future, we will work on adding more alphabets here as well. And probably the last thing is about the billing and plans. I'm currently running on the free plan, which is up to 40 transliterations per month. So currently I have used 3. If I go to the bulk editor and I try to run this for, sorry, for 50 items, I will see monthly limit reached warning, and I can choose to transliterate only 37 of them. This is pretty much everything. Let us know if you have any questions or any feedback. We will be happy to address anything, and we hope that it will be super helpful for you. Bye, and wishing you all the best with your store.